Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Pocomoke City Mayor and Council meeting. Today is Tuesday, January 20th, 2026. It is 6:30 p.m. Would you please stand with us for the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you. Councilwoman Downing, would you lead us in prayer tonight?
Sure. Thank you, Lord. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this another day that you blessed and allow us to see. We thank you for another opportunity to be here. And God, we ask you for your guidance in all things, God. We thank you for everything and ask you to be with us. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Moving forward to item number 2, approval of the minutes from 1/5/2026. Before we get there, I'm going to read our closed session summary. Following a motion by Councilman Holland and seconded by Councilwoman Downing, the council voted to meet in closed session at 7:48 p.m. in council chambers. Present were Mayor Knock, Councilman Holland, Councilman Marshall, Councilwoman Tall, Councilwoman Downing, and Councilwoman Cotman. The mayor and council discussed items that are covered under General Provision Article 3-305B4 to consider a matter that concerns a proposal for a business or an industrial organization to locate, expand, or remain in the state, and under General Provision Articles 3-305B1 to discuss the appointment, employment assignment, promotion, discipline, demotion, compensation, removal, resignation, or performance evaluation of appointees, employees, or officials over whom this body has jurisdiction, any other personnel matters that affect one or more specific individuals. Thank you. Now, approval of the minutes from 1/5/2026. Council, have you had enough time to review the minutes?
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
The motion has been made and properly seconded. I'm sorry, is there a second?
Nobody seconded yet.
Second.
The motion has been made and properly seconded. All those in favor use the sound aye.
Aye.
Those that oppose, you have the same right. So moved, thank you. Moving forward to item number 3, approval of the bill list. Council, have you had time to look over the bill list? Is there any discussion? Seeing that there is none, I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the bills list.
Second.
The motion has been made and properly seconded. All those in favor use the sound aye.
Aye.
Those that oppose, you have the same right. So moved, thank you. Moving forward to item number 4, swearing in of the Pocomoke City Finance Director. Ms. Bias, will you come forward, please? Please repeat after me. I, Dominique Bias,
I, Dominic Baez,
do swear
do swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and that
and that
I will be faithful
I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance
bear true allegiance
to the state of
to
Maryland
the state of Maryland
and support the
and
Constitution
support the Constitution
and laws thereof,
and laws thereof,
and that I will, to the best of my skill
and I will, to the best of my skill
and judgment,
and judgment,
diligently
diligently
and faithfully,
and faithfully,
without partiality
without partiality
or prejudice,
or prejudice,
execute the office
execute the office
of Director of Finance
Director of Finance
for the City of Pocomoke
for the city of Pocomoke
according to the Constitution
according to the Constitution
and laws of this state.
and laws of the state.
Congratulations, thank you.
We're glad to have you.
I need you to sign
We're
that,
glad to have
and then you can give it to Melinda.
you. You better, Dominique. You better take care of Brandy.
Thank you.
Congratulations, thank you.
Outstanding.
Moving forward to item number 5, swearing in of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Will Nola Teller and Harold White come forward, please? do swear
do swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States,
and that I will
and that I will
be faithful
be faithful
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland
to the state of Maryland,
and support the Constitution
and support the Constitution
and laws thereof,
and laws thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my skill
to the best of my skill
and judgment,
and judgment,
diligently
diligently
and faithfully,
and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office
execute the office
of Planning and Zoning Commissioner
of Planning and Zoning Commissioner
for the city of Pocomoke,
for the city of Pocomoke,
according to the Constitution
according to the Constitution
and laws of this state.
and laws of this state.
Thank you all so much for serving.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Harold.
And proud to hold.
Thank you, Noel.
Thank you.
I need y'all to sign that, and you can give them to Melinda. Thank you. All right, moving forward to item number 6, swearing in of the Pocomoke Elections Board. Would John Haney, Lindora Bonneville, and Sylvia Fletcher come forward?
Yeah, everybody hang me down here. Jesus Christ.
Come that way. Raise your right hand.
Okay, please repeat after me and say your name after we say aye. Do swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of Maryland and support the Constitution and laws thereof, and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment, diligently and faithfully, without partiality or prejudice, execute the office of Board of Election Supervisors for the city of Pocomoke, according to the Constitution and laws of this state. If you can just give them to Melinda. Thank you.
Mr. Haney, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, young lady.
All right. Moving forward to item number 7, special one-day permit for Pocomoke City Volunteer Fire Company's Cash Bash held on March 28th, 2026. Is there any discussion? Oh, I'm sorry, the hours are going to be 11:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. They're asking for a beer, wine, liquor, $100 per day.
I make a motion, we approve that.
I second it.
The motion has been properly made and seconded. All those in favor use the sound aye.
Aye.
Those that oppose, you have the same right. So moved. Thank you. Right. Moving forward to item number 8, discussion and vote to renew the GMB on-call engineering and planning and zoning support services. Ms. Matthews, if I may, about the GMB, about the planning and zoning support services, we just needed to get this officially on the record with a vote from everyone to move forward.
So each year, GMB, we have our on-call engineering, which normally is for water and wastewater. But due to us not having a qualified applicant yet for the planning and zoning, GMB has actually, is willing to step in for at least 20 hours a month, planning and zoning matters that have to go before the planning commission and matters that do not, with the assistance of the planning and zoning attorney, Erica Witz. And also, they are willing to write those staff reports as well as attend those meetings. And I'm just asking for a motion for the council to approve those services until we do find someone to take on the planning and zoning director.
Is there any discussion?
I make a motion to approve to renew GMB for on-call engineer and planning and zoning support.
A second.
The motion has been made and properly seconded. All those in favor use the sound aye. Aye. Those that oppose, you have the same right. So moved. Thank you. Moving forward to item number 9, discussion and vote to approve forgiveness of the Discovery Museum promissory note. You all know that we talked about this during our budget talks. We had a couple of conversations with the former executive director over at the Discovery Center. As you can see in your packet, there was a letter sent on March 17, 2026 to Stacy Wisner from the city of Pocomoke. It was about the loan. The loan term was originally supposed to be 6 months. I'm sorry, it was supposed to be 6 years. The first payment was due on August the 1st, 2021. In the budget talks, we talked about forgiving the loan in its entirety. We never want to be in a space where we hinder the operations of any of our nonprofits here in town. So this is something else that we just need to take an official vote on so we can let them know what we decide. So is there any discussion from the body?
No, I would like to say that the Pocomoke Discovery Center is definitely the biggest tourist draw in the city of Pocomoke. It brings in 15,000 to 17,000 visitors into our town a year. I'm an avid supporter of them. I'm strongly supportive of them. I'm also one who will go out of their way to help somebody who's helping themselves. And I would like to see more fundraising activity at the Discovery Center. I'd like to see more activity over there because a crowd creates a crowd. So we're in full support of you. I'm in full support of it. We want to make this thing work. The city needs it. Not only the city, but the region needs it. It's a multi-county draw for us, and it keeps us on the map when it comes to tourism dollars. So let's move on past this and let's get some things rolling.
Is there any other discussion? I would just like to say personally, I received a call yesterday from one of the employees at the Discovery Center, and it wasn't about this loan forgiveness. I'm not even sure if she knows about it. But just hearing her talk about the exhibits and the things that they want to do in the community, it just makes this right. It makes it all the more right. And we really need to get behind them. The relationship between the city and the Discovery Center hasn't always been perfect, but we have the right people, we have the right tools to move forward, and I'm excited about the things that are to come. So if there's no other discussion, I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion as written to forgive this promissory note in its entirety.
A second.
The motion has been properly made and seconded. All those in favor use the sound aye. Aye. Those that oppose, you have the same right. So moved. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, council.
It's the right thing to do.
Moving forward to item number 10. Ordinance number 2026-03. Second reading, public hearing, and vote. You know we got to check now. An ordinance of the mayor and city council of Pocomoke City, Maryland, to amend the city zoning code to eliminate the keeping of lodgers, roomers, or boarders by a resident family in residential zoning districts by amending Chapter 230, Article 2, Terminology, 230-5, Definition and Wordage, Article V, R-1, Residential District, SS 230-35, Accessory Uses, Article 6, R-2, Resident District, SS 230-42, Accessory Uses, Article 7, R-3, Multifamily District, SS 230-49, Accessory Uses. Whereas the mayor and city council have received complaints regarding property owners who rent rooms out to individuals for profit, thereby disturbing the tranquility and peace of residential neighborhoods. Whereas the city zoning code identifies 3 residential zoning districts where the keeping of roomers or boarders is authorized as an accessory use. Whereas the mayor and council have deferred this issue to the Planning and Zoning Department for review, and staff have prepared draft language that eliminates the keeping of roomers or boarders in R1, R2, and R3 residential districts. Whereas the Planning Commission at their meeting on June 26, 2025, moved to initiate the zoning text change and to conduct a further public hearing on the matter. And whereas the Planning and Zoning Commission conducted a public hearing on July 17, 2025, regarding this issue and recommended approving this zoning text change with the following amendments. SS 230-5, add definitions for family and housekeeping units, lodgers, roomers, and or boarders. SS 230-35, amend subsection E by deleting the current language and replacing it with the keepers of lodgers, roomers, or boarders in the R1 district is prohibited. SS 230-42, amend subsection E by deleting the current language and replacing it with the keeping of lodgers, roomers, or boarders in the R2 district is prohibited. SS 230-49, amend subsection E by deleting the current language and replacing it with the keeping of lodgers, roomers, or boarders in the R3 district is prohibited. We will now enter into our public hearing. If you have a comment about ordinance number 2026-0-3, please come forward, state the name of the street that you live on. Council, is there any discussion? Right, seeing that there is no discussion, I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 2026-0-3.
I'll second that.
The motion has been properly made and seconded. All those in favor, use the sound aye.
Aye.
Those that oppose, you have the same right. So moved, thank you. Moving forward to item number 11, second reading of 2026-0-7, General Obligation Bond Water Tank Mixer Project, public hearing and vote. Ms. Matthews.
Ordinance number 2026-0-7, an ordinance of the mayor and council of Pocomoke City authorizing the issuance by and upon the full faith and credit of Pocomoke City, a municipal corporation of the state of Maryland, the city, of its general obligation installment bond in the principal amount not to exceed $463,000 to be designated Pocomoke City General Obligation Bond Water Tank Mixers Project. As such, designation may be supplemented and modified the bond under the authority of sections 19-207 and 19-301 of the Local Government Article of Annotated Code Maryland 2013 Replacement Volume and 2023 Supplement, and section C-61A of of the Charter of Pocomoke City as replaced, supplemented, or amended. The net proceeds of the sale of the bond are to be used and applied for the public purpose of financing and refinancing respectively a portion of the cost of construction, repair, and rehabilitation of the city's water tank mixers project, which includes without limitation the installation of THM removal and tank mixing equipment inside and on water tower number 1 at 604 Young Street and water tower number 2 at 1928 Pocomoke Beltway, together with any related construction, architectural, financial, fiscal, legal, design, planning, and engineering expenses, prescribing the form and tenure of the bond and the terms and conditions for the issuance and sale of the bond, providing for the levy and collection of any taxes necessary for the prompt payment of the maturing principal of and interest on the bond, and that the full faith and credit and taxing power of the city be irrevocably and unconditionally pledged to the payment of the principal and interest of the bond.
Thank you. If there are any comments concerning ordinance 2026-0-7, please come up to the microphone and state the name of the street that you live on. Council, is there any discussion?
Yes, Ms. Matthews, will there be any water service interruption in the replacement of these tank mixers?
They've already been replaced.
Thank you.
If there's no more discussion, I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion, go ahead.
Go ahead, girl. It's all you.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number 2026-0-7.
Second.
That.
The motion has been properly made and seconded. All those in favor use the sound aye.
Aye.
Those that oppose, you have the same right. So moved. Thank you. Moving forward to item number 12, comments from the audience. Please come forward, state your name and the name of your street.
Good evening. Karen Abbott. I just have a couple questions.
Could you lift the microphone up?
Sure.
Thank you.
I'm concerned because I want to find out, is this pay raise, is it a travel stipend or a pay raise, and how much was it? Because as far as I know, because I watch the meetings when I'm not here, but I have not seen a vote to increase the pay. It is greater than 50% increase in your checks without a vote that I know of. So that went from, for a council person, $30,000 a year to $61,740 a year. Again, without a vote. The people deserve transparency. If that is a travel stipend, what is that used for? Because did it pay for the trip to Salt Lake City, Florida, Ocean City? I'm just asking. As commissioners, we travel all over the place. Our stipend is $250 a month. That pays for our dues, our gas, and meals when we travel. So, my second question is, who appointed the Ethics Committee? Was that each one of you appointed somebody from your district, or did one person appoint them all? So I would like answers to those questions. Thank you.
Are there any other comments from the audience?
Yeah, Nolan Teller, Walnut Street. If I can go back to the meeting of December 2nd, whatever that first meeting was, or the only meeting, when Mr. Holland brought up the transparency issue, I was all in favor of that. Nobody can say anything against transparency. But as time went on, and then we had the last meeting, in my opinion, the transparency train has left the station. We are now on a witch hunt. It looks that way on every single level that I can see. And I have really tried to see the good and the bad. But it's got to stop. It is dividing this city. I don't know, but from anybody who's ever been employed, morale has got to be just in the trash can. It can't help but be bad, in my own opinion and experience. But we have so many things to do in this town that it's time that we concentrate on those items. Sometimes when you have a game plan and a tactic on how you want to go about something, such as the transparency, and like I said, I'm all for it. I supported you from the beginning when you first brought it up. I told Mayor Knott, I support Holland in bringing this transparency issue up. Right after the meeting, I think I sent you a text. I said, he's spot on, he's right. But we went this way. We just went this way. So if we could bring that conversation back to the center, and I don't think that it has to be in this arena of division where it is right now, because I do feel like it's a witch hunt. I don't know where we're going with it. Am I entitled to know where we're going with it? Maybe so, maybe not. I don't really concern myself with that. I just see it from the outside, and I've tried to stay quiet on it the past 2 meetings, but now it's too much. It's too much. I'd like to see the council or the city manager come up with another avenue to take this. If it wants to be continued, that's up to you. I don't really care one way or the other. I just know I'm over it. And I think a lot of people in the town are over it, that we have too many more important things to worry about. That's the only thing that I wanted to say.
Are there any other comments?
Good evening. So I figured I would take the time for public comments since we seem to have a big following. We can get some information out to everybody. We're expecting a storm this weekend. I don't know if anybody's seen that. From our standpoint, it's important for everyone to be prepared. It's going to make our job a lot easier. City manager, myself, public works director, all met today. Spoke with the police chief, spoke with the fire chief. The county is all over it. They're emergency servicing as hard as they can go. There's a state meeting tomorrow, just so everyone's aware of what's happening, what we're doing. There's a state meeting tomorrow at 3 o'clock. The Emergency Operations Center will probably open sometime this week, depending on the track of the storm. With that, it's important that everybody does get prepared. Make sure you have water. Make sure you have food. Make sure you have food and water for your pets. Flashlights, gloves, warm clothing. Depending on what we get, whether it's a wet snow or a dry snow, and I know there's a difference until today, but I learned a lot. It can knock the power lines down, so we could expect power. If we get, we get 2 or 3 inches of snow and it paralyzes. If we get what they're potentially calling for, right now is anywhere between 1 and 72 feet. We'll see what we got at the end of the week. Right. It might rain. I don't know. Sorry, I'm talking to you guys with my back to you. Sorry. But anyway, we just want everybody to be prepared. We want to let you know that we are working on it. We're already planning on upstaffing for the weekend. If it rains, we'll send everybody home. But I just want to let everybody know that the city, myself, all of the people that are involved are working on it. But do remember also, folks that have medical problems, reach out to your oxygen supply folks. Make sure you got plenty of oxygen. If you require oxygen at home, make sure you have plenty. Make sure you got plenty of gas in your car. Make sure you have plenty of propane in the tank. If you lose heat, we're going to do our very best. If we do get a large amount of snow, let me rephrase that. If we do get a large amount of snow, depending on how quickly the roads get cleared, it's going to make it difficult to get to anywhere in a hurry. So we want to make sure that everybody's prepared. If there is an emergency, we're going to handle it. But we just want to let everybody know that to be prepared, that's important. So anybody have anything for me while I'm here? Y'all good?
I do. What are some of the things that residents can do to make your job and the Public Works job easier?
I'm not, I'm going to shoot this one off the cuff. So,
Cars off the road?
cars off the road. One big thing even when it doesn't snow, one thing we run into all the time is houses not being properly numbered. In a snowstorm in the driving range, like we have the ability to cut our white lights off because it reflects, but even with the lights, we'll cut our lights down. But if it's dark, blowing snow, we have trouble seeing addresses. It was a while ago, the county asked everyone to put the numbers on their mailboxes, and they either did it on one side, no side, or not at all, or if the house is way off the road. So those are things, as you're leading up to it, this storm, and in the future, make it easier to find you. Cars off the road, and just being prepared. A lot of times what happens is people get caught by surprise, they come up short, and they call us because they need something, which we're glad to do. However, it takes us, if we're manpower depleted, again, we still have a 2-hour ride. We had a 2-hour transport time when it's 75 and sunny. I don't know how long it's going to take us to go to Salisbury and back, So if we do have to handle emergencies, we have 3 ambulances. I'm going to be out, the fire chief's going to be out, police are going to be out, but as far as getting people to the hospital, I mean, it could be as much as a 4-hour turnaround time, because we're not going to be able to drive fast, we're going to have to drive safely. Outside of that, did I answer that, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. Cars off the road, making sure your animals and yourself are protected, taken care of, that's probably the biggest thing. From the fire chief, if you do have any external means of heat, kerosene, you go to Harbor Freight and you buy a salamander and you hook it to a propane tank, please don't put that inside your house. Carbon monoxide is deadly. We have had that happen here before, where carbon monoxide builds up in a house. It's silent. If you don't have a detector, it builds up, you go to sleep, and what's that? And stay asleep, yeah, unfortunately. But that has happened before, and we understand that people have all different means. You got to do what you got to do, but just be smart in what you're doing. Have enough food and water for about 4 days. But outside of that, I really don't know what it's going to do, and neither does anybody else, but the good Lord, so I don't know what outside.
Random question.
Yes.
Is it true that we are not supposed to put our windshield wipers up?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you. I was think they're going to get stuck to your windshield otherwise. I don't know. I don't do it to mine. I just roll with it, man. I don't know.
Thank
You got anything else? All right.
Thank you.
Moving to B, comments from the city council members. Councilwoman Cobbin.
I'd just like to thank everyone for coming out tonight and stay safe this weekend.
Councilwoman Downing.
I'll just piggyback off of you. Thank everybody for coming out. It's good to see faces instead of cheers. So thank you so much.
Councilwoman Tall.
Just to reiterate what everyone else says, stay safe this weekend. I don't know about y'all, so my job, my full-time job requires me to be out regardless of weather. So I know people feel into that category as well, so try to stay safe on these roads. Our life is not promised to us tomorrow. That job will be okay, and I'm talking to myself as well. It's nice to see folks in here, as everyone else has said too. Y'all be safe and keep the faith.
Councilman Marshall.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming tonight as well. I'd also like to thank the residents of District 5 who took the time and effort to come out to Market Street Deli the other night for the info session. It was very positive. The folks that came were very well aware of the things that we needed to do as a city. They came asking the right questions. They came with an air of positivity, and it was good to see. During that meeting, I don't think there was no negativity shown. It was all what we can do to build. How my sidewalks going to get fixed? When are you going to fix my sidewalks? When is Market Street going to be paved? Are we spraying for mosquitoes? I don't know that. I got to find out. I don't know if we spray for mosquitoes. I don't know. We'll have to find out. They wanted to know about Cedar Run and some drainage issues down there. These are all things that are fixable. They're things that we can achieve, and we're able to do that by working together as a community. So I was very pleased with those folks who came out. Secondly, I would like to announce publicly the Pocomoke River Duck and Goose Calling Championships. which will be held at the Great Pocomoke Fair on August 2nd. I've been in touch with many call makers. I've been in touch with people who are in that game. If you know anybody who can call or halfway decent, wants a chance at the Pocomoke River Championship, this is a big deal.
You can teach me?
Yes, this is a big deal, so we're excited about that. I believe it's the first annual, and we hope to make this an ongoing thing. So I was at the fair meeting the other night. They've got a lot of, I don't see how they're going to pack it all in, but they're going to pack it in. It's going to be quite an event. So there's that, and thank you all for being here.
Can we get your best goal?
Oh yeah, I got a good one. I'm saving it for the championships.
Councilman Highland.
I want to thank Ryan for what he said here, and I'd like to say that the address on the house has been an issue for quite some time. So if your address is invisible, it's important for many reasons, for police, EMS, firefighters, all that good stuff. I also want to, Pocomoke City has been named an Aspiring Main Street Community in Maryland. It's a 2-year process, and I want to thank Kara Lacey for all her hard work in making that possible. I know she attended a conference, and I think it was in Easton for Maryland Main Street, and this is where the process has started. So in 2 years, you'll start to see the benefits from it, hopefully. I guess I'll address some of the questions and concerns from citizens. The pay raise, it wasn't a pay raise, it was a stipend for travel. It's $550 per council member, that's what I've been told. It's considered a travel stipend, not a pay raise. We have and the travel, I couldn't understand the second part, but the travel was increased from $3,000 previously to $7,000 per council member this year. And as far as who appointed the ethics committee, I didn't appoint anybody. I can't speak to that. My intention is not for this to drag on. My intention was to get my questions answered. It just took a long time for my questions to get answered. I've never done a news interview, really tried to refrain from posting on Facebook about city government because it's just not the place for it, in my opinion. I try to keep everything in-house through emails and through discussions in Pocomoke. I've been on the council 7 or 8 years, never done an interview. It used to be a rule within the council that you had to have a council member and an employee for every interview. So it's just not something that I partaked in or trying to witch hunt or whatever. It's more of transparency. For the bills list, it's always been, since I've been on council, I thought every bill ran through the bills list. Apparently it's just more of a formality, and there's bills that are paid without the bills list. It's news to me. I'm not saying it hadn't been done previously, it's just news to me. The reason I noticed the bills list didn't show everything is because of the travel and different things that weren't on there. That's why I raised the question. So tonight I refrain from voting on the bills list because I think the process needs to be changed. I think there's better ways of doing this. No bill should go unpaid without the council seeing it. That's just my opinion. I think citizens of Pocomoke rely on us to make sure we're using their hard-earned tax dollars wisely, and they look for us to ensure that everybody in City Hall is doing what they're supposed to be doing. Not saying anybody's not, but just we're checks and balance. And without us being able to see every bills list, that's not possible. So I hope we work on altering this in the future. I think it's important. I want to thank Brandy for clarifying the issue with the donation and the spending threshold. It was a mistake made, no big deal. The process of the trips is another thing I'd like to address, is because my first meeting on council was April 8, 2019. You can go back and look at the minutes on the city website. My first night sitting on here, Mayor, but Councilmember Knock at the time asked to go to NLC to Texas, and he actually asked for me and Esther to go as well. Me and Esther did not go. He went that year, and I think that was the first year, or we had been in NLC, because we had been in it previously, and then we haven't been for a while.
So that was the second year that an elected official had went. In years prior, other people went.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was voted on in my first meeting here, so the travel that has been taking place recently did not go through that process. So as far as I'm concerned, none of that is transparent, right? I mean, if I don't even know where and council members or employees are going, then how does anybody know? And what are we getting out of it? I know Kara went on the travel trip to Easton, and we're being named an inspiring Main Street community in Maryland. I mean, those are things I'll always get behind. But the process of the travel needs to be, if it's, we had a former councilwoman, Trost, came to the meeting and said that all out-of-state travel had to be voted on. And that's the process we took previously. And at the end of that year, we, at the time, as a council, looked at the money we spent on traveling, and the council at the time made a commitment not to travel and spend that money. Like I've said previously, is that when I first got on council, we couldn't even get a grant with the state of Maryland because we owed over $200,000. We were in a terrible financial bind, and we've clawed our way out of that. So it's just the way it's been going is not how it's been going, and if it's not already in place, we need to look at it as a whole on traveling, because I think it's shocking some of the money spent, and I don't personally see the returns to the city for all of it. And I guess I hope this clarifies some stuff. It's not a witch hunt. It's just trying to figure out the process of the things they're doing is not how we've been doing them. And we need to get back to communicating more as a whole through emails and through public communication to them. I mean, transparency is big in Pocomoke, and the way we've been doing it is not transparent. So I hope with the bills list and the travel stuff that we'll find a better solution to be transparent to the public. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to comments from the mayor. So, y'all, I received an email last week. We did not get the $800,000 DHCD grant.
Mayor, could you speak up
Sure.
so we can hear you, or use your mic? Thanks.
Thank you. We did not get the $800,000 DHCD grant. People were watching us. They were watching our discussions about the location. Also, they didn't want this to be a starting line. They didn't want the grant to be a starting line. They wanted the grant to be a finish line. They wanted it to be, they wanted us to come to them after we had exhausted all other funding sources, and then they would have covered the end of it. I know that they're going to contact Ms. Matthews for a follow-up meeting, and I really think that some of you all should try to be on that follow-up meeting. Just in my conversation with them, because I needed some clarity. Just in my conversation with them, I learned a lot. And they were really pleased with the community input. They were extremely pleased with all of the letters of support. They told me if they could have awarded it to us just based off the letters of support, we would have gotten it, but we did not meet those other criterias. Also, Councilman Marshall and I had the honor last week to attend the opening legislative session, and it was a great time. We had a chance to catch up with our Senator Mary Beth Carroza. I kind of gave CL a little bit of homework, and he rocked it out before we left. So I'm sure he'll be talking about that soon. But even though we didn't get the DHCD grant, y'all, I think that we've got the right chops to get this thing done. It might not be today or tomorrow, but as long as we keep this at the forefront of what we're trying to do, I really think that we can make it happen. I also want to talk about the Main Street Maryland program real quick. And I want people to realize that Kara just didn't start working on this last year. She didn't just start working on this 2 years ago. She has been working on this for years. So the fact that we've been named a finalist, I know she had to go to Easton. I know that they're mandating her to go someplace out of the state. We need to make sure that she is prepared for that. But she has been working on this for years, and it is amazing to see. This is going to open up more doors for us to get grants and things like that. And I also wanted to briefly talk about something related to the budget. So when I was in Salt Lake City, one of the things that I realized sitting in a class listening to someone talk was that we had been doing our donations wrong. And I was kind of like, how can you tell people that they're doing their donations wrong to their community organizations? And then I heard them explain it. And they said that instead of your city giving your nonprofit a donation, it should be a grant process. It should be something going right back into the city. So I really think that that's a good idea. So I think that we kind of need to focus in on that when we start our budget talks, if we're going to do it the way that we've been doing it in the past, or if we're going to set it up where there's a grant. If memory serves me properly, we give out almost $80,000 in donations, and I think that it's money well spent. But I also believe that if we can get them to pour that money right back into the town, which would take some of the stress off of the Great Pocomoke Fair, off of the Chamber of Commerce, off of the DPA. It would take some of the stress off of them from planning events and things like that, and we would have these organizations in our community doing events as well. I think that it has worked. I don't know if people realize this, but the Dulles Closet Food Bank is funded by the city. Each year we give this year we gave $10,000 to fund those food banks. So I think that if we could develop a model, I just believe that we have a lot of things that we need to develop. So I'm proposing that within the next month, we do have a closed session to talk about policy and procedure for the bills list. We have a policy and procedure for travel, and also potentially a policy and procedure for community donations. And that's all for me. Thank you. I'm sorry. And Commissioner Purnell, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Moving on to comments from the city manager.
Good evening, everyone. Just to clarify what Chief McCready was talking about the storm, and speaking to him and Bill from Public Works and Chief Hancock, on tomorrow we will be contacting the fuel companies to make sure that all departments are filled up. That means the diesel, that means the propane, for any of the departments that that will possibly be here for the snowstorm. Also requested that they fill up all their vehicles on Friday just in case there is a snowstorm. One of the things, because did not know until Sunday that there would be a snowstorm, I'm requesting approval to allow for the departments to purchase food and drinks for those departments that would need to be here for the snow emergency, because, there's nothing going to be open if they shut down the roads. So I'm just asking for permission that they are able to purchase food.
Andrew, we can do a consensus.
That's fine. I mean, it's part of your budget.
Just give a thumbs up.
Wonderful idea.
Okay. And so Mayor Knock already talked about scheduling a work session, but I do want to narrow down a date so that we can get started. February, I normally don't get it until Valentine's Day, but it probably would be that Friday since Valentine's falls on a Saturday. is the tax assessment for the county. That's the number I need to even, really start creating a budget. But we really do need to start having our budget work sessions at this point. So if you guys could get together and try to figure out a date for a work session.
No. We have a meeting,
Did we ever schedule a work session?
For the flood, for the Nature Conservancy.
when is that?
So they gave the dates of February the 25th, the 22nd, the 25th, the 26th, or March 2nd, 3rd, and the 4th.
Well, we definitely want to do ours before then.
Okay.
So we have a meeting February 2nd. Can we do our work session on February 9th?
Works for me.
I can't do the night, but you're all more than welcome to.
I mean, unless we want to move beyond a Monday. What day works for y'all beyond a Monday?
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Jesus Christ.
In February.
No, well, we could do one in January if we don't do Monday.
Every day, but the 29th works for me in January.
Child, we moving to February.
Okay.
Every day.
Yeah, February's good, because I'm gone for a
So
while.
y'all want to do a Wednesday or a Thursday?
Wednesday's fine.
The February 4th?
February 4th?
For a work session.
So, our next meeting?
Our next meeting is February 2nd.
Groundhog Day.
Yes, it is.
And are you guys good with do you want to have the Nature Conservancy meeting either the 25th or the 25th or 26th in February or in March?
Do you want to do the 25th or something?
Yeah, let's do it in February.
Yeah.
Okay.
25th works for me.
Okay, for the 25th, Nature Conservancy. Okay.
That's at 6:30.
Yes.
Work session is 6:32.
Do we want to do 6:30? For the work session, 6:30?
Oh, I don't care. I'll be here.
No later.
No, okay.
6 o'clock. You got prayer.
No, 6:30 is fine.
6:30?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay. Okay, some updates throughout the city. The SIP project update, Terra Firma has the repayment schedule for this week, weather permitting. I will reach out to John Hibbenstein from GMB tomorrow to confirm, but I don't think they're going to do it this week based off of the temperature. It's too cold for them to pave at this point. And with the weather coming up, go ahead.
When are y'all going to start paving the sidewalks?
So that's coming up.
Because, budget was approved in June, right?
Yep.
We've gone through a whole summer. Now we're in the winter.
Yep.
And I know that you all aren't going to be working in the winter, so can we expect a start of April or?
That's my next topic.
Okay, go
Okay.
ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. So based off of the weather permitting, it is possible that even the next week, but it was supposed to be confirmed the 26th, but with the storm coming, it's possible that they may not be able to repave the section that they tore up with the SIP lining. Now for the street and sidewalk improvement update, GMB was out to mark the sidewalks on Winter Quarters Beach and in the Heights, and they're spray painted with white markings. All the sidewalks will not be replaced, only the damaged sidewalks and the ones that do not meet ADA requirements. They have all the information that they need at this point, and they're getting ready to start the bidding process to hopefully have a contract ready by March, no later than April, so that this is completed before the end of the fiscal year.
Do you have a list of what qualifies for ADA?
Well, it has to do with the slope of the sidewalk. Now, some of them, like in the Heights, it was weird because they have those little sections that don't go to a don't actually go to a sidewalk, so they're not going to replace those.
Like I have one at my house, it's just like a corner piece.
So if there was an actual continuation of a walking sidewalk, then that would have been considered. But there are some in that section where it has, I don't even know how to describe it. It's almost like it's peeled up because it's different material. So they're going to try to figure out if there's something that they could put down or if that is going to be completely need to be taken up altogether. Now, to address the sidewalks that were damaged due to the water meter pit replacement, I did send out an email. I just got the information from Cornish Construction Concrete. They said that they can start as soon as possible, weather permitting. Starting with streets, one street at a time, because the first street being Walnut Street, there are 25 sections that need to be repaired at that point. So we also went down and we did Cedar, 9th, 10th, Laurel, pretty much all the side streets on that side to try, because there has to be enough of yardage for them to actually do a load. So they want to do enough at one time so that they can replace the sidewalks. But that is the next phase. And they said with the sidewalks, that can be repaired anytime during the year. It's just about the freezing temperatures. It still has to be a certain temperature, but that can be done. Any questions?
No questions. Council, can I pop back to my comments? I did forget that I needed to tell you all something else. Well, it's two things. I received a voicemail 2 weeks ago from someone that lives in town, and she was telling me that she had received a letter in the mail saying that there was lead in her water. She was not happy about receiving the letter, and I can only imagine how she felt. I have asked for clarification on who sent the letter and things like that, and I really haven't gotten an answer. So I'm hoping that you can answer it for me tonight. I've reached out to Mr. East. He told me that he didn't know about the letter. I reached out to you, Ms. Matthews, and you said that you did know about the letter, but you didn't know about its content.
So it was a part 120 water. It has to do with MDE. There are certain houses within the town that have not converted their water and sewer line, their water lines over, and it's the portion. It's not the portion from the sidewalk to the meter. It's the meter to their homes. Depending on the actual age of the home determines whether or not they've actually been replaced. And there's about 1,700 residents here in Pocomoke City that they cannot confirm whether or not they have changed over. So by MDE standards, and we have to find out which homes have not. So that letter did go out, and in September, I did send that letter to Mr. East to have the superintendent of Public Works to update that letter to go out to those residents. Now, we also are supposed to get a grant to reimburse us for the mailing of those as well, but we have received a substantial amount of those letters back, even though the address is there, as unreturned. The only way that we can determine whether or not, if it's galvanized, if it is lead, or if it's the new material that is needed, they would have to go down in the pit and actually dig up every one of those pits to determine whether or not it was done. So that letter was sent out with a survey for them to let us know whether or not they have updated their pipes and have not notified the city.
Thank you. And council, also one last thing. I did go to the open house for the Little Bridges, we call it. My purpose really for going was to advocate for our businesses downtown. I've heard from a lot of them, and they do not want the bridge closed. So while we were there, we heard that there was an alternative. They were only going to paint the bridge with it being open to, so that marine traffic could get through. So I went and grabbed CL, and I was like, listen, this is what they're saying. And, you know, CL had a conversation with them about it. So there is a possibility that the bridge will remain closed. They promised us that they were going to go back and they were going to look at their log to see how many boats come through there. We're not talking about boats coming through there in June and July. This project isn't going to start until September. So I'm confident in saying that we could probably have the bridge closed so that the Discovery Center, Dockside, and even all.
When you say closed, Mayor, you're talking about open for vehicular traffic.
Right,
Yes.
right. So when I say closed, I mean closed down. So cars can still go over it. So for all of our downtown businesses, I had some business owners tell me that when we did the zip line on Market Street, that it almost bankrupted them. And we don't want to do that. The same way we made this vote for the Discovery Center tonight is the same thing that we have to keep in our minds. We want to see our downtown flourish. We want to see people coming in. And let's be honest, if people have to, in order to get to downtown, if they have to go all the way down, turn by McDonald's and do all of that, they're going to just keep going. They're going to stop at the next small town. So we're hoping that the bridge will not have to be opened for them to paint, which they told us that it would be a little bit more work. And I told them that we're okay with them doing a little bit more work, but definitely we want to see our downtown businesses and our restaurants and our museums, we want to see them to continue to thrive.
And just to piggyback off of what the mayor said, I actually spoke to a representative while we were there, and I know a lot of residents are concerned about Market Street being repaved as a whole. I actually spoke to him about, we had the sewer main repair that had to be done between 5th and 6th Street, where we had to shut that section down, and there was a void under the road. And in speaking to him, he was very concerned. So we're going to look at what utilities are there in that section, not just that section, but on Market Street, what still needs to be repaired for State Highway, and they're going to come out in camera to see, because with a void under the road, it needs to be repaired and it needs to be done immediately. It's not something that can continue to wait.
Ms. Matthews, I had a question about the lead situation. So is it the homeowner's responsibility to get this stuff now galvanized and looked at and tested, or is it the city's?
So at the time, it's the homeowners, because there was something years ago that the city would pay for it, and some homeowners chose not to do it. So right now, they're doing like an inventory list of which residents still have that material, and it's more so even with the galvanized. If it has even touched anything lead, it is still considered lead, even if it's been changed over to galvanized. Now, one thing that 120 Water does do, and I've heard some residents on Winter's Quarters having issues with the iron in their water, they will, at no cost to the city, if they need their water sampled, they would at no cost sample the water. So if they feel like that, yes, they have lead or there's iron, that they need their water tested, it can be tested. They just have to let us know.
I've got one more question for you, not on this subject. Are you aware of the Time to Care Act?
I am not.
So the Time to Care Act is 12 weeks, up to $1,000 per person. State legislation, it starts in January of 2027. So we're talking about working on our next budget. So could you please read up on the Time to Care Act so that we can be prepared for our next budget? Because it's, let's say someone's spouse gets deployed, they can use the Time to Care Act to, to take care of children or take care of that. And of course, it's just an addition to like FMLA, but the city definitely needs to be prepared for it.
So my question to you, the Time to Care Act, that's not the same as the state of Maryland FMLA that may be implemented in like 2027. Like
It is.
It is. Okay.
Yes.
Yep. So then, yes, I am aware.
Can we not test for lead in-house? Can our water department not test for lead? Because I know they test for, I've taken bottles there before, but for some citizens that had concerns, but I'm not 100% sure what they tested for.
They can, because we do our own lead testing. They do.
I've taken them there before. I've had citizens call me with concerns that I would grab a water bottle and take it to the water department. So if anybody in my district has a concern, I'll be glad to stop by and take a sample to our water department.
So it wasn't like, it really wasn't meant to scare everyone, but I don't think a lot of residents, especially newer ones that have moved in, they're thinking that because the homes have been rehabbed, but the actual pipes themselves have not been replaced. So it just needs to be addressed, and seriously, if someone feels like that there is something wrong with their water, please let us know.
Imagine being 80 years old, raising your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, really not having a lot of money, not really receiving any help, and then you get a letter in the mail that says, hey, you may have lead in your water.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I asked the question, whose responsibility is it if it's, because that can be a lot of money for our people. And
Are there any other comments from Ms. Matthews tonight?
No, but I would just like to add that, I forgot to add that, we have an election coming up in April. District
Yes.
1 is up for grabs. I am not running again, so this seat is definitely up for grabs. And I think it's April 9th.
February the 6th is when, am I correct, Andrew? February the 6th is when the
Deadline is.
the deadline, yes.
Right, so everyone, we are not going to adjourn tonight. We are actually going to go into closed session. So council, is there a motion to go into closed session?
Make a motion to go into closed session.
Second.
Motion has been properly made and seconded. All those in favor use the sound aye. Those that oppose, you have the same right. Thank you.